You know, one of the best perks of my job is I get to travel with the fabulous Julia, and we go everywhere. Now, on a recent trip to Charleston, we ate a huge seafood tower. It was magnificent. It was filled with clams, all sorts of oysters, condiments, and something called pickled shrimp, which I couldn't get enough of. Luckily for me, Julia's here, and she's gonna make pickled shrimp today.
Now, this recipe was inspired by that style we had on that seafood tower, which was glorious.
That was some time.
I've become a huge fan of pickled shrimp since our visit, and it's almost replaced shrimp cocktail in my house, which you know.
Oh.
In my house, shrimp cocktail is a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah, but this has more flavor, it's more interesting, and it's easy to make.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with 2 pounds of shrimp. Now, these are extra large, the 2125s, and they've been P&D, peeled and deveined.
Oh, that's the industry speak.
It is, because sometimes it says that on the back.
Right.
And when you're buying shrimp, if you're buying frozen shrimp, you want to look at the ingredient list, because as you know, you only want to see one ingredient on that bag.
Shrimp.
You got it. Anything else means they're preservatives and the shrimp aren't going to taste as good.
Exactly.
Okay, so now we're going to cook them, and we're going to cook them really gently, almost like potatoes, because we're starting in cold water.
Okay.
So this is 4 cups of cold water. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. We're gonna add the shrimp right to the cold water, put this over medium-high heat. We're gonna bring the water up to a temperature of 170 degrees. That's 5 to 7 minutes. And then we're gonna take it off the heat and let them finish poaching.
Interesting.
Nice and gentle. That way they stay good and juicy and don't taste like rubber.
Okay.
This has been cooking for about 6 minutes. And again, we're looking for the temperature of the water to be 170 degrees. There we go, perfect.
Of course it is.
So I'm gonna turn the heat off now and put the lid on and just let these shrimp hang out in that warm bath, finish cooking very gently. Again, that just makes them taste tender.
Nice, so they're not gonna curl up and become those little rubber balls.
That's it, and that'll take another 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay.
It has been 5 minutes. Oh, look, perfectly curled shrimp.
Lovely.
It's that telltale sign that they're cooked through. And now rather than dumping this into a sink and putting all sorts of water on it to cool them down, which I think waters out their flavor, we're gonna do something clever. This is 8 cups of ice. Gonna add it right to the pot. That's just gonna chill everything down. Have that shrimp stop cooking. And also it just saves a lot of mess rather than doing this at the sink. I mean, aren't these beautiful? Look at that. Have you seen more perfect looking shrimp? So we're gonna let this sit for about 5 minutes, then I'll drain them and I'll put them on paper towels and let them dry and we can make the pickling liquid.
Pretty and pickled.
Here are those shrimp that cooled in the ice water for 5 minutes, then I drained them, and they're resting on a bed of paper towels, awaiting their pickling liquid.
Okay.
This is a very rustic pickling liquid. So we're gonna start with 2 garlic cloves, and we're not gonna slice them, we're just gonna smash them. Just want them to release their flavor into the oil. Into the bowl they go. Now we're gonna add a cup of cider vinegar. Gonna temper that with a 1/4 cup of sugar, 3 bay leaves, a teaspoon of allspice berries, teaspoon of coriander seeds, and 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. We're just gonna whisk this together. And to really infuse all these flavors into the cider vinegar, I'm gonna put this in the microwave for just 2 minutes till it's nice and fragrant.
Okay.
All right, Bridget. Ooh, smell that.
Whoa, that's pickly.
It is. Look at the garlic. It only happens every once in a while, but sometimes you get garlic and acid and it does the magic blue.
Yes. What does that mean? Does that mean something?
It means we're lucky.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it. Yeah. So I'm just gonna give this a quick whisk, make sure all that sugar is dissolved. I'm gonna set this aside just for a minute or 2, let it cool.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'm gonna slice an onion. So this is 1 red onion. I want about a cup of sliced red onion. And I'm gonna slice it pole to pole, which I like. Cut it against the grain, so you get those graceful arcs, rather than this way where you get those rainbows. I feel like those rainbows, they get a little wormy when they soften.
Yes, there's all those little fault lines in the onion, and then that's where they start to kind of pull apart and fall apart.
That's right. I'm gonna angle the knife as I slice through the onion. About halfway through, I like to tip it on this other side, and then it becomes a game. How close can you go? Pretty good. All right, we're gonna also add some big wedges of lemon. Sometimes I like to go in and just make sure any of those seeds that you can see are out. I don't like the seeds in there.
My husband calls them pips.
Aw, that makes them sound so less annoying.
Yeah, no, they're still annoying.
All right, those lemons have been fully depipped. We're gonna set the onions and lemons aside while we finish the pickling liquid.
Okay.
That pickling liquid has cooled off just a little bit. Now we're gonna turn it into more of a marinade, which I love because it means it's like a dressing. You can dip bread into it. Sometimes take a little of it and I toss it with some salad greens to go with the shrimp. Yeah, it's an all-purpose marinade. So this is a cup of extra virgin olive oil. Just wanna whisk it in. We're gonna add a quarter cup of minced capers, 2 tablespoons of minced fresh dill, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard.
That was one of the things about the pickled shrimp that we had. They were so briny and tangy.
Yeah, it tasted great on a hot day and made you thirstier for the other things they served there.
Like beer.
This is a tablespoon of hot sauce, tablespoon of a sauce that I never can pronounce correctly, Worcestershire sauce.
You said it.
Oh.
Not
when I-
Worcester sauce?
That's when I try, I can't say it. Last but not least, 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna whisk this together. You can tell this is gonna be good because this is just so fragrant. Into the marinade go the lemons, the onions, and last but definitely not least, the shrimp.
Shrimp hammock.
Oh, when you see this sitting in your fridge,
It's beautiful.
isn't it pretty? Ooh. Now, this shrimp really does need to sit in this marinade for a little bit in order for it to really absorb the flavor. At least 3 hours, up to 48 hours. The longer it sits, the more flavor you get.
Great.
Now, I'm gonna put a plate on top just to help keep that shrimp submerged.
And tasters at bay.
It's true. There's another taster barrier. All right, we're gonna cover this with plastic and put it in the fridge.
Okay.
Here is the finished shrimp. Isn't it beautiful?
It is beautiful.
I just love this on a summer day. Makes sense when we were together traveling in South Carolina.
Because it was hot.
It was hot, and this was so welcome. It's serving time. Now, I forgot to mention, I did stir this a few times while it was resting in the fridge just to make sure everything had good access to that marinade.
Okay.
Oh, I gave you a nice piece of lemon. I make heavy serves. I think you know this about me already.
That's why I'm here.
Oh, and you have to have some of that dressing.
Yes, please.
Oh, yes.
It's actually creamy.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
All right, now I have some bread there for you just to help sop up some of that beautiful sauce.
This would be great with a salad, though, too. I've heard people eat salads. This would be great with that. I want to take a moment here. This is absolutely stunning.
Isn't this nice? You can picture yourself outside on a nice summer day.
Yes.
With friends. Yeah, I love it.
Glass of white.
All right, so one trick, you stab your fork and you can, oh, just a little fresh lemon.
Scared me there. I thought you were going to eat it.
Isn't that dressing something else? I mean, it's sweet, it's tart.
That was so good. That sends me right back.
I also love how the dressing isn't too sweet. I really don't like it when it's sickly sweet. It's got a good vinegar punch. You taste the lemon, the capers help.
It's not too sweet, but it's really well balanced.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of those warm spices coming through the allspice. I can really get.
Brings the house down when I make this for a cocktail party because people just keep going back and back thinking, what are those flavors?
What a great alternative to shrimp cocktail. But the best part of it is thinking about all those memories.
Yeah.
Good times. If you want to make this great shrimp dish at home, cook the shrimp gently, add ice to the cooking water to cool down the shrimp, and let the mixture marinate for at least 3 hours. So from Cook's Country, the briny, savory, a little bit puckery, pickled shrimp. Thanks for watching Cook's Country from America's Test Kitchen. So what'd you think?
Leave a comment and let us know which recipes you're excited to make, or just say hi.
Now you can find links to today's recipes and reviews in the video description.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
See you later.
Alligator.